What's up, guys? It's your girl Penny here, and today is a very exciting day because we are starting a new segment here on Penny Social. The new segment is called Underground Artist Exposed. My goal with Underground Artist Exposed is to bring light to all of the amazing underground artists out there, not limited to one special genre or one special category of art. We're talking music, we're talking painting, we're talking dancing, we're talking clothing design. I mean, we are talking it all here on Underground Artist Exposed, and I am so excited to bring light to all of these amazing people who have worked so hard behind the scenes for so long. I feel like now is their time. Now is the time for them to let their light shine. Our first guest on Underground Artist Exposed is actually someone from my hometown. His name is Christian Holt, better known as Mulu, which stands for My Unique Life Unleashed. He is a rapper. He is very authentic and very real with his craft, and I freaking love it, you guys. He just came out with a new album called Ornery Kid, which is what we are going to be talking about today. In this album, I feel like he just really let go, and he really put his heart and his soul into this without fear. So I am so excited for you guys to meet him, to hear more about his music and all of that awesome stuff. Here is a little bit of background work of Mulu actually creating the album Ornery Kid.
You gotta sing that over again.
I'm just gonna roast my singing.
I walk these city streets.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm going on it just like that too. On the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps.
But they better not sleep on me.
What I get to say to people who listen to it? Buy this fucking album, you fucking dumb schmucks. This is fucking hip hop. It's fire. What are you listening to here? Hey, no.
Yeah. My liquor's dark, my soul numb to the swallow. Slurred words getting hard to follow. Noble fool, but the world's hollow. I don't know. Pour up a shot while I roll up the earth. Iron sharpen iron, let's see if it works. Cause I'm almost finished with the bottle. Where's your cup?
So we have Mulu here, the man behind a great album, Ordery Kid, which I personally enjoyed very much.
Thank you.
So I just have some questions for you that I came up with while listening because I really did think it was great. It was awesome. But before we get into the album, we need to talk about, a little background of you. Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Uniontown. I mean, all over the place. I was on, the East End for a little bit. Then I was on, I just moved around a lot. But basically, I've been in town, walking the streets and working at gas stations and being the local dude for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you still like being in Uniontown? Or are you ready to move?
I'm definitely, I love to get out. I always said that if I made it, I would always build a little spot somewhere hidden in town because I love the area, I love the mountains. There's so much beautiful stuff in Uniontown that people don't go and visit and check out. So there's definitely places that I would love to come back and visit, but I am kind of ready to just, bounce around, be a nomad.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah. There is nothing wrong with that. Yes, we all have to get out at some point, just to experience, even if you come back.
Yeah, I'd have friends that went and moved out and lived the whole situation and came back home. So it's like, just get out just to see some different stuff. That's all.
Different experiences.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's like,
it is definitely scary.
I went to Chicago by myself, and that was like, just to walk around, and I would walk to the gas station and just to grab some stuff to eat. It was just cool to get that experience of city life and just being by yourself, because now you don't know anybody. So I kept my headphones on me because I can't
just in your own little world.
Yeah, just really taking everything in. I'm trying to look like a person that lived there, not a tourist, because I didn't want people being like,
That's totally a thing. That is a thing.
Let's get this guy.
That is a thing for sure.
My Airbnb was mad at me though, because I took something out of his fridge. I thought it was part of the Airbnb. I was drunk too, so.
Oh.
I was like, man, I thought it was cool, but the next day the energy was all switched up. But no.
At least you didn't have to live there.
I didn't.
At least you didn't have to live there. Hey, you could be mad as long as I can
told
finish
him,
my
I'm
stay.
sorry. You were cool. Thanks for letting me stay there.
Thanks, and I'm not replacing that. So, how long have you been interested in music?
I've been doing music stuff for, everybody thinks I'm joking when I say it, but it was in 3rd grade in Lafayette. It was me, my friend Chris, and the twins, and we rapped Uchi Wally. And that was like my first like real, outside of rapping with my cousin Josh, like at family cookouts. But we did that for a while. We did it when we were younger, and it was just funny to watch 2 kids rap
Right.
5 mile away. So like, we would do that, but ever since 3rd grade on, it was more like, oh, this is fun, because we did like a little in-game halftime show thing. So we were like the teacher, Mrs. Dunham. Shout out to Mrs. Dunham.
I had her too.
She was dope. I always think about her all the time.
I do
If
too.
it wasn't for her, yo, I don't know if I would have really kept writing like that, because she was the only person that like super encouraged me to write when I was like young, like little short stories and just the ideas, and she'd be like, man, this is really cool. So like, if it wasn't for Mrs. Dunham, like she really like
that.
She went hard. Like she used to have us like come to the classroom, like at the end of the day, like she would let it, like me, Chris, and the twins come through and rap the song just to like encourage it. I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
Yoga in her class, I thought that was cool. Like, she was the dope. That's probably my favorite teacher ever.
Agreed.
She moved up like
Agreed.
every grade too, like up until I had her as a teacher until like 7th grade.
You needed her, huh?
Yeah.
I think you needed her.
Going for Mrs. Dunham.
Hey, maybe if she sees this.
I know that's not her last name anymore. I'm like, what's her last name?
No, yeah, that's not her last name
I gotta
anymore.
find her.
You're right.
I'll be like,
She was gorgeous. I remember always
beautiful.
thinking that.
I
She
always
was
just
gorgeous.
like told myself she had a crush on me.
In my mind, we're
In my
dating.
mind, we were definitely together.
It's called manifestation. you never
Maybe
know.
that's what I'm waiting for. Maybe like I gotta get out of here. I'm running to Mrs. Dunham. She's still all like fountain of youth, and we're like, let's do this.
I'm sure she's still fountain of
She's
you.
like, I heard Ornery Kid. I heard everything you ever dropped.
You never know who's watching.
You never know.
You never know.
I would like for her to reach out though, because it's definitely props to her. Her and Mrs. Gaster. Those are 2 people that really like push my right.
I hope they do reach out to you. I have teachers I still, I'm like, I just wish they would just.
I just don't want to be that dude that
Come
pops
say
up in
hello.
high school.
Oh, dude, why did I do that one time? But I think I did it to be smart though, because they deemed me as like a lost cause. So I just.
Like, boom. What's up, lost cause?
You see me? You see me? So was any of your family musical, like grandparents or anything like
I
that?
have family on my dad's side that is more musical, but I didn't really know them like that. You know what I mean? I still like don't really know the depths of the musical side of my like that side of family. As far as my mom goes, I've never been told a story about anybody who does anything music related. But it was just always my musical background comes from like being around family, like the music they listen to. So like everybody, the cookouts, or whether it's just my dad driving around or my mom when she was cleaning around the house, like it was just, that was, a lot of memories are attached to different songs when I hear stuff and different sounds. And,
Music has that effect.
Yeah, so I like to listen to everything. People think it's like the only thing I don't listen to is country. I can't. I mean, there's some songs that aren't bad, but I won't be like putting them in rotation. Like I love bands. I love all types of stuff.
Right.
So I get my hippie side and my hippie vibes from my mom, and then I get like the soul and the classic rock and like funk stuff from my dad, and then everybody in between, like cousins, put me on to like hip hop, like the South hip hop, or you know what I mean, stuff like that. There's just always music being brought to me from family. So nobody's played directly beside me, or my Uncle Terrence played drums.
Okay.
He was nice on the drums. But like, and I had a drum set, but I broke it, and then I think my dad took that as an opportunity to like get rid of it.
Like,
cause like,
bye, tired of hearing this
we're
anyway.
gonna get this fixed. We'll get your Uncle Terrence to fix it. And I never seen it again.
Never
And
again.
I was like, man, that still hurts me. Like, I want my drum kit back, yo.
Like, Dad, I
could've
did
been a
not
drummer.
forget. I did not
Be a
forget.
drummer, man, instead of a writer. But yeah, no, that's probably like that's the closest family member to me that I know as far as music goes. I mean, Josh, my cousin, taught himself a lot as far as like playing guitar and things like that. But only thing I ever played was drums. I was a band geek for a little bit, but not that long.
Really?
Not
Really? Your music career has taken
Yeah, we're all
many loops and twists and turns. But that's good though, because you're like exploring different things. That's cool.
I was in a
So,
band
oh,
once, too.
I think I just got ink on my chin.
That happens. I don't see
gosh.
anything. I think you're good.
Okay,
You're good.
no ink. We're good. Whatever. They wouldn't see that little speck anyway. Does your family support your career choice, like your aspirations to be a rapper?
I think now it's easier for them too because they know I'm gonna do it regardless.
Right.
Initially it was a lot of like, you know, you gotta go to school, or like you gotta, when I first came out, or like people always still float me like, yo, you should go to school, be a teacher. Like, maybe you should go to school and do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do what I do. You know, there's a plan B, but you know, I think they've accepted the fact that it's just something that I have to really pursue before I say I don't want to do it anymore.
A plan B.
There's no real plan B. It's a loose plan B. It's like, okay, I know that I can go like back to school, or I can grab like a factory job or something. If like things really didn't work out,
Right.
I could go back and do, you know, the traditional things at any time. You know, people can go get a job and save money up, however. But you can only pursue that thing that you love to do for so long before it's like, you know, now it's just a hobby. You know what I mean? Like, you can always pursue your things. There's just certain things that, like, I feel, like, for music, I kept telling myself that if I hit, like, 30, that like, nothing was really progressing, that I would take a step back and find a different lane in it. Because it was just like, you know, if I hit 30 and there's literally, like, no progress at all, then what's, you know, I don't really have much time. Nobody wants to listen to a 40-year-old who's never been on yet. We'll listen to Hov and them because they've been on and they got, you know what I mean? But, like, there's not a lot of 40-year-old, 45-year-old fresh new rappers that's coming out where niggas like, oh, like, this is hard.
Right,
You know
right.
what I mean?
And you're 27, right?
I'm 27.
Okay, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do. It's just,
This is something that I did a while ago.
I feel like that like timeline, and not just in this situation, but in like most situations in life, whenever you put this timeline on it, I feel like you break your own heart, because in a way we're trying to take control of a situation that we don't actually have control of. So I feel like God will sometimes not allow your dream to happen at the time that you wish for it to happen, to tell you that you don't have
Or he takes me
control.
all the way up to 30 and he sees if I really fucking got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But regardless, like, I
you're-
made this limit when I was like 21.
Right.
Like, I was
right.
21 and I'm like, everybody's like, go to school. And I'm like, man, I ain't going to I'll tell you what, if I don't do nothing by the time I'm 30, then I'm done. Like, you know what I'm
Right.
talking? And then, like, it just kind of, like, been something that always, now I'm getting older, and I'm like, I've done way more, like, every year. The cool thing is I've seen, you know, if looking at last year this time, I wasn't doing interviews. I didn't have music videos. I didn't. So like, I wasn't doing a bunch of shit. You know what I mean? So like people get embarrassed about their memories, and like, you know, once we get past that 9-year mark on my memories on things, I don't.
Like, no, we gotta quit looking. No.
But like every day I find something that's like music related that like is just cool. It's cool to look back and be like, damn, I was doing this like 4 years ago.
Right.
Now, like my artwork looks way better, or the music's way better. We actually have stuff on streams. Like, so, I mean, the closer I get to 30, the closer I'm like, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll push it and see what we
I mean, what even is your definition of success? Like, what is my I made it moment?
To be able to just, I don't have to be like all like rich and famous, you know what I mean? If I could like I love Currency and them, be like underground, like Crit, because they still make their music, they still perform, they still sell their merch, and then they get to do what they wanted to do. They got their money to make the moves and live comfortably and take care of people, and like that's the goal. Ultimately, everybody wants to be able to make sure everybody's cool and make sure yourself is cool. So the music's cool, music's fun. I love doing music and I love writing more than anything. But that's like, I know I'll be cool once I have money to put towards other things I want to do. Or be able to put other people on and I can take a step back. Because, you know, my brain's fragile. So there's only so much I can continuously push out all the time for the rest of my life. You know,
I feel that.
From like nothing else there, you know what I mean?
I feel that.
So yeah, that would be my whole, like being able to do shows when I want to, being able to be like, oh, I want to throw this kind of show and not have to be like, I gotta move 1,000 things around. I could just be like, this is what I want to do. We make it happen.
Right.
I can make a little tour if I wanted to. Nothing too, I don't have to, you know, my favorite shows are hole in the wall joints. I don't need no huge ass arena. Like, those would be dope. And I've had like one huge crowd where I was like, got a taste of that and was like, yo, this would be crazy.
This is nice.
But I love my hole in the wall shows. Those are my favorite ones.
They matter. They matter. They do. They prepare you for the bigger moments.
Yeah, people really listen in the intimate moments. So
true.
You get to tell people stories about songs, and I don't know. I just like those better. To be able to see people and vibe that way and make jokes and stuff like that. Bar None was cool because it was like you could see everybody.
Yeah, that was a cool little spot. It was. That was a cool little spot. It was great what she was doing for the artists.
I would say whoever owns it has a dope music venue, like one of the best music venues in here. But like I heard some things through the grapevine that might not be a music venue anymore. So
I'm pretty sure she's selling it.
You know, there's other stuff.
Which sucks, but yeah, there are other things. Yeah. There are other things, you know, it served its purpose during its time.
It brought some acts together. It brought art together. It brought the art
people together. Yeah.
It's cool to see a place for everybody who did different type, like even painting, drawing. They had their nights there. Music had their nights there. You know, the drummers had a little shaky moment, but I'm not gonna speak on that because you know everybody who's ever been to a show of mine around there knows how I feel about it. But I still think it was a great for what it did. You know,
I agree.
I met a lot of cool people through just going to Bar None. We need more places like that in town.
We do.
Yeah,
seriously, we really do. I didn't even realize how much like talent was here or nearby, I feel like. Because people were always like, I need to go to like LA or New York or whatever. And it's like, there are so many talented people here, man.
It's hard here though because it's the level of, like, you don't get a lot of support. It's like hesitant support or closet support or in the DM support.
Facts.
You know, people aren't commenting on posts. People aren't, you know, sharing everything. It's just like, it's just a constant battle between, I think subconsciously a lot of people just accidentally, like, they just do it. And it's like, I'm not sharing, or I'll like it, or I'll let him know privately. It's like, why? Like, you know, just show love. I feel like it's not hard to show love, bro.
It's not hard to show love at all.
But
it's really not.
It isn't.
I definitely feel that. Yeah.
Even there's times where like I may not have liked the song, but you tag me in it, I still add it to my timeline just so people can see it. Yeah, just because I didn't like it don't mean
somebody else won't like it.
Exactly, and it's somebody from my hometown, and you know, people like stuff I don't like all the time. So I try to share it as much as I can. I try to keep the ego and emotion out of stuff as much as possible, unless it's about the writing, you know, interaction-wise.
Yeah, it's definitely annoying, but I feel like in a way it has like a good workout to not be as recognized, because whenever you get to certain levels, you know, you have people who are going to be like, you suck, you're trash, and you know, you don't, just to be used to like supporting yourself, so whenever those comments do come, it's like, you know what, well, fuck you, I'm going to keep creating. I know my music is the shit. Like, I don't need you to tell me that. Right. So fuck you. Okay.
That's the energy, bro. Sometimes I'm struggling to hold on to that energy.
Me too. Okay.
You'll have days where I'm like, man, it don't matter. You don't like it, guess what? All these people like it. You know, that's what I was.
Next day, no one likes anything that I post. Like,
This is real art.
why do I even do this? Why do I even do? Look at this guy. He's not a quarter as talented as I am. Look at
And then
this.
you're comparing yourself. So
Right.
I try to stay off of socials.
So terrible.
And it's hard. It's like, I gotta push my stuff, and I don't have a marketing team or anything like that. So you gotta like find that balance of like, don't look at the dumb shit. Post what you gotta post. People say schedule posts, but I know there's an algorithm where they make it harder for your scheduled posts or something like that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's hard, man. There's so much
It's
that
hard.
goes to this.
And people don't see that
Yeah.
part. Like, I'm marketing myself. I'm doing everything. I'm completely creating my brand.
Yeah.
Yes, some people do notice.
Shout out to the people that reach out and like really let you know, like, bro, I see everything you're doing. This shit, keep doing it. You know what I
And
mean?
those little things are like, okay, I can go another day.
like
Like, I can go another
you
day.
don't get them a lot. Get them, and when you do, you're like, man, thank you. And I don't think people. And I feel so bad because like I'm the worst in text when it comes to my tone. I like to talk to people.
Yeah,
I don't like texting
same.
or like call me or something like that. Like do that. Don't FaceTime me. Just call me.
You're right.
Like I can do a phone call. But like people just. It's everybody. Shout out to the people that reach out. That's all I wanted to say.
Shout out to them. I agree.
It's always at the right
They
time.
matter. Always.
The perfect
When you're ready to be like,
Yeah.
I'm done.
Like,
Like,
you're like, I can't create anything. I got writer's block or whatever. And somebody's like, hey man, I just want to let you know when you said this, that, and the third. I heard
that and I needed that. You're like, woo.
Thank you so
Okay.
I'm
Man.
about to just like break my microphone.
I swear. I honestly thought it was just me. Like,
No.
and then when I'm like having a writer's block or whatever, I feel like so like worthless in a way because like this is what I like to do, and I'm not finding any joy, and I'm just like, what is wrong with me? Like, what is wrong?
You're putting that pressure on yourself.
Yes.
You create some dope stuff and people are fucking with it. And you're like, I gotta do more.
I gotta do
What
better.
else can I do?
Yes. Oh man.
It's tough. And then especially when you're writing, it's like, because you don't want to be too, it's hard to be vulnerable on your
Oh my gosh,
like,
it's so
to share
hard.
it. So like,
Oh.
you finally, put that stuff out there. It's very scary. I forgot where I was going with that one, but
It feels good, and it's like, I don't know, like jumping out of a plane at the same time. Like, I could be ruining my career, or I could be making it better.
I could be making.
I don't really know.
People are so like, I hate this, I like this, and like, so it doesn't matter. You're always gonna piss some people off. You're always
Always.
have those people that
Yes.
As long as you're staying true to yourself when you're writing, and that's what I keep seeing. Keep like little things I keep reading or things I'm looking through. Is like, bro, as long as you're on your stuff, that's all that matters.
Yes.
The rest is gonna come with it.
Facts.
So I have to keep that in my brain because it's very hard. This brain goes all over the place.
You're telling me. You're telling
There's
me.
like little things like that I try to keep on holding on to just to remind myself, like, all right, we're good.
Who has been your biggest musical inspiration this far?
There's a couple people that like have really. There's three main artists that have pushed me or like have made me watch them and be like, okay, if they can do this, I can do this. That is Donald Glover. That is
Oh, he is my favorite. Okay.
Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, which I feel like everybody just assumes. Even Lupe. Like I listened to Lupe Fiasco a lot when I was younger, and sometimes people will be like, oh, yo, you kind of got the little Lupe flow, and I'm like, yeah, because that's cool to me. That's the people that I really like. Kendrick, and he really inspired me to do more of my poems and stuff. So like stuff like Always There, where I drop a poem at the end. If there was no Kendrick Lamar, it probably would have taken me longer to do stuff like that. Because Section 80, I listened to Section 80 and I was like, man, this is like, this dude's doing it for real. Like,
I like him.
This is legit. Because I remember my cousin tried to put me on the rigor mortis, and then like the beat was all crazy and he was just all over the place, and I was like, it's dope. I don't know. And then like months after that, I listened to Section 80 and I was like, oh. Damn, this is hard.
Okay, I like
from
this.
beginning to end, the skits, the poems, I was like, okay, I need to like, because I had these poems and stuff sitting in notebooks, but I just wouldn't do anything with them because I was like, nobody needs to see this stuff. So
like this is me just being vulnerable and emotional. Like nobody cares.
Yeah. So that without Kendrick, and then Cole was just more like, I got my get my comfortability of like talking my shit through Cole.
Yeah,
like,
Def give J. Cole vibes.
Yeah, like, I'm like, God, like it's because at the end of the day, it is like it's a sport at the same time. Like it's competition, it's friendly competition. You know, don't be a dick towards everybody. But you know, when you're on the mic, niggas like gladiators. You know, so we're out here. We're spitting bars and we're out here want to be like, oh, I'm the illest, so yo, you're dope, but I'm more dope. Like that's where I come out with it. It's like y'all want to be the nicest, and that's where I get my J. Cole vibes. I mean, his storytelling as well, on like a Nas level, which Nas is another person as well. And then Bino is just like he writes everything, he does everything, he acts. He's, you know what I mean? He literally just there's no cap to the creativity. So like it inspired me to write a little short film idea. Which I have that, I just haven't done anything with it, because I love Atlanta. I have like this idea for a series that's similar to Atlanta, but not a knockoff. Like
Atlanta is like such a good show.
But I have, because I work at a phone store, and there's like mad dumb stories that just like are comic relief, and I have this idea to just do this like, this little short series based off of where I work at. Mm-hmm. So like
kind of like The Office.
Yeah, well,
based off
like
work
very
at The
much
Office.
because I want to make it like real, a real thing. So it's really just like what I'm doing. It's an artist trying to, you know, make some stuff happen and juggle a bunch of shit at the same time.
Yeah.
And it just tells those kind of stories. Cause I feel like everybody goes through that. It's just cool just to watch and relate and like really get.
Be like, I feel that.
Raw.
Yes.
And like sometimes it's hard to put that rawness in a song. Because people want to listen to music, you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes it's hard to put that stuff in songs because you want people to want to listen to stuff.
Right.
So like there's things and ideas. I was talking to another artist in Pittsburgh, and she was telling me like, you know, you got to get that rawness out, you know, journal and do stuff like that as well. Because, you know, and then come back to it and write something later. Because usually everything I write, if you haven't noticed, is obviously just me sitting there like cut some things out here and there, but like mainly it's literally like just spilling these thoughts onto a page and then making sure that I didn't say anything too crazy.
I actually did catch on.
You know what I mean? Like it's like freestyling with like taking a word or two out. But I very rarely take like what I said out because I feel like it's taking back what I meant. So.
And I said what I meant and I meant what I said.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So some songs stay hidden because I feel like I'm just not, like timing wise, they're not ready.
It's not time.
But Ornery Kid, most of the songs were like 2 to 3 years. So like I sat on those until the time was right to put them out, which I felt like they were a while ago. But you know, shout out to Tizo for that one because he was the one that was like, we did all these songs, and he's like, yo, I got a couple songs that I want you to hold on to. And I'm like, oh, a couple songs, cool. It's pretty much every song that we recorded in these sessions that I wrote. Because he heard all of them, and he's like, I love this one, I love this one. I was like, Tizo, you left me like literally 2 songs. So it was just like, oh, but he's like, I'm telling you, just hold on to them. So I'm like, fuck it. So I held on to them, and I did some other stuff, and we did Trust the Process one, and the second one. We were actually going to name this Backpack Season, and he asked me if I wanted to keep that name, and I was like, I don't know. I'm looking at the list of songs that says Tizo told me to keep, and one of them was Ornery Kid, and I was like, and then the picture popped up.
That's it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, so I sent it to him, and we just like, after that was just like, and we added a couple songs, but the majority of that album was written like 2-3 years ago.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about the album, Ornery Kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out. Go listen to it.
It is out, and I'm probably like a good bit of the views, at least on Apple Music.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I did get a spike in Apple Music listens recently, so.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I think I know why. I appreciate it.
I had to prepare. I like to be prepared. I don't like to be unprepared.
That's cool though.
Like, yeah.
I don't know if anybody else who's interviewed me yet like really like sat with it.
Oh no, I have to.
I know a lot of people missed a lot of lines that are in this like I hope people keep listening to it, because there's people that have hit me up for bars and they're like, oh, when you said this, or what did you mean when you said this? Like, there's a lot that people are missing in it. That I'm like, when I was writing, I'm like, oh, this is good.
This is some heat.
This is heat.
But I think those are the best, because you're like, I wonder if people got
Oh man, but it drives
like,
me
did
crazy.
they get
Like,
it?
it drives me
Like-
crazy though, especially when I'm listening to it and I hear the bar and I'm like, that's hard.
That's some hard shit right
wonder
there.
if anybody
You was
got
spitting.
it.
You was spitting. There were a couple lines I was like, oh wow, this actually kind of relates a lot to the current situation that I'm in. It was really weird. The timing of it truly was perfect. So
cool.
your friend telling you to hold on to it, like,
Yeah.
yes, because I listened and I was like, yo, I feel these, I feel that, like, especially trying to get out of like toxic thoughts and just things that are just holding you back, you know? And it's just like, I'm normal.
Yeah.
Like, I'm normal.
Yeah.
And other people go through this shit.
Yep.
And, you know, I'm not like a terrible person, because sometimes I question myself, or because I don't want to listen to people. Because, you know, people like fuck people.
Yeah.
You know, they don't know what I've been through. They don't know why I'm putting this work out there. They don't know that in my art there are 1,000 secret hidden messages that you did not pick up on.
Yep.
So it's just like, you know, fuck people.
Yeah.
And that's just
It's definitely
what it is.
an album of self-reflection and
Yes.
and like I think one thing that I did differently with this one is I used we, us, and I a lot more instead of being like y'all or they
Or
like,
you, or
It's
yeah,
like,
I be trying to do that.
instead of coming across as like I'm judging everybody, I'm literally like, bruh, it's me, but I'm talking to y'all too.
But yeah,
I'm
right.
talking to everybody.
I've had this realization. I want you to have yours.
Like, it's not just me.
Yes.
I see people struggling. I see people like, and especially if you like, for the city, you open up Facebook and you see all the struggle, all the emotions.
Yes.
Like, it's literally Uniontown's diary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
So, like,
you are
see
correct.
everything, and you see what everybody's going through. So some of these songs are observational, and some of the lines are observational. And me seeing that other people are going through things, I'm like, hey, I can touch on that because I felt that, or whatever. One thing my cousin said was life definitely made you a seasoned rapper. Like, so I was like, that's cool to hear, because it was just like
Facts.
to direct and channel everything into these songs. Tizo sent me all these beats at like the perfect time. Like,
It was definitely divinely orchestrated. Like, the more that I listen to it, I'm just like, wow. Like, I don't know, it's just like little things. I'm
there's
just
that
like,
magic with it.
major.
Yeah,
Like,
the intro didn't happen until the day before we were submitting all the songs. I didn't know what the intro initially was supposed to be a poem that I wrote for a song 2 years ago, and was for a project that never happened, but I kept all the stuff for it. And Tizo brought it up, like, oh, you should do this and make it a poem. And I was like, oh, yeah, bet. But I couldn't write a poem that like served it, served it properly. Everything just seemed forced, and like it's pretty much a whole ode to my cousin, so it was hard for me to like beat it over the head more. I was like, I don't want to OD on it. So like, I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. And everybody's like, oh, we gotta put this album out. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. So I was thinking about different ways. Like, I'm in my head, like, what can I do? What can I do? I was gonna do a skit where, like, people come in and they're like, yo, you gotta come see the kids that rap at the Tribe Called Quest. Like, it's a family cookout setting, but I didn't know where to go with it. And then I was like, family cookout, family. My dad's downstairs. He always wants to be on the mic. He always makes jokes about, hey, Dad, you want to do the intro for the... it just, like, yeah, he was pumped. He got to do it, and we sat down, let him talk. He talked for like 30 minutes. Tizo cut it up, put some piano behind it, and it makes the... People listen to that. People listen to the album, to the intro, fully. So I think it's cool that people listen to it all the way through, because it's not a song, it's talking, but he was saying things that were touching people.
Yeah.
And that's a cool way to start the album off.
It's the album was great. I'm gonna keep saying it. It was great.
Album, you said divine, like it's all divinely orchestrated, and it's like crazy. Like the album art, the people involved. Tizo telling me to hold on to all these songs. The date was not planned. I just picked a date. Like, oh, what would be a good time to drop it? I'm like, I like the 20th. 20th was my cousin Josh's favorite number. So I was like 20th. August, his birthday's in August. I didn't want to put it on his birthday because it's his birthday. I'm not trying to use that.
Right,
So I was
right.
like, we'll just do it for the 20th. And I posted something and somebody was like, oh, 8/20/2020 to 2020. Like, that's dope. And I was like, oh, I didn't even notice that. I didn't even peep it. And then we dropped a single on 7/24, and somebody was like, I get it, 7/24, and I was like,
Didn't get it.
I swear I didn't play that stuff, but like that's like the divine, like you're on the right path. You're on the right path.
Right, those just confirmations.
Yeah, so we just like the whole session leading up to dropping, it was just like we had up and down moments, but it was always stuff like that was like, yo, you're good, stay the course, trust the process.
Oh man, even
like,
that I needed to hear it. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, supposed to happen.
That's funny. So,
like all the way leading up to this, I kept seeing my triple numbers. So like
same.
Yeah.
No, listen, because I have been so nervous, which is weird because I'm a people person. I don't have an issue like connecting with people and communicating with people or getting in front of the camera. You know, none of this shit is weird for me.
Right.
But I'm like, I can tend to come off a bit abrasive sometimes. And I don't mean to. I really don't. And like people can't always take it, and I'm just like, you know, it is what it is. You know, this is just what it is. What the fuck you want me to say?
Sorry.
And like, you know, and so I'm like, if you don't like take the time to talk to me and like have a conversation with me, you will never understand me.
Exactly.
And so I'm just like, you know, like I've talked to him, but like not on this level.
Yeah.
And I
live for conversation.
you know, like I just be like trying to dig in there.
Yeah,
like what's going on? What's happening? What were you thinking? What were you feeling? Why did you feel this way? When I listened to this, I heard this. Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
You know, and it's your art, and people are sensitive about their art. And I don't have anything bad to say.
Sure, no.
Not by a
do.
long shot. I mean, just the questions that I have planned to ask. So, okay. Okay, it's not bad. It's not bad. So first, how do you feel like this album changed you as a person? Do you feel like it's made you a little bit more daring?
I feel like because it's actually me being more open. I think some of these songs are the most honest I've been, like most directly honest. Because like things I would say in other songs I wouldn't really claim as mine.
Right,
This album, I was
right.
like, this is my,
that was power.
Yeah, this is my baggage and everything that I've been holding on to, and I need to let it go.
Yes.
To let a lot of stuff go that I needed to. And just in dropping the album, I feel mad, like, I just feel different. Some people have noticed the difference because I just feel a lot more clear, but there's still a lot of work to be done.
Of course,
Yeah,
always.
there's always work to
The
do.
work's never ending.
But I'm taking a step in the right direction, and I can feel that in everything. Even when, like, especially when I'm really down on myself, because I'm not doing as much, or I should be doing more, or like I'm not sharing enough. People aren't getting enough. Something will hit me, and let me know that, all right, bro, calm down.
Relax. Relax.
Calm down.
Because you want to just control every aspect, like how people receive it, how you put it out there, the messages you're putting across. And you know, sometimes people get messages that you didn't even mean to be in there. You're like, oh, you know, now that I think about it.
Yeah, I've had people.
I see what you're saying.
I'm like, oh man, I wasn't looking at the song like that, but even like last song, I did last song for Trust the Process too, and like mad dudes would hit me up like, yo, this is the song for dudes. I was like, oh, I didn't know so many dudes felt this way, like dudes needed the anthem, like, but I'm not gonna say no names, you know. I'll be the whipping boy of the emotional songs, you know. This happens.
I often play that role as well. So
I just know that I'm not the only one, so all them tough dudes be like, this is the
this
last
is
song.
it. You know, you're like, oh, you're not that hard. You're human.
Get the R&B vibes this year.
So, what is your favorite song on the album, and why?
My favorite song, see, I started to think about this because I figured somebody would eventually ask me that. I love Lou Lament because it was hard to write. But there's like, and even in everything that I said on there, there's still so much like behind everything that I was saying. Like it's deep. It's a deep song, and it's like stuff that I don't speak on. So like, the line about, you know, the baby mom line or like anything like that, if anybody picked up on stuff like that, like there's personal things in my life that I'm sure people around town, you know, obviously might know about them or don't know about them or have stories, and I've heard rumors about myself plenty, you know what I mean, stuff like that.
Yup.
Like people just don't understand the toll that a lot of that stuff takes, so it was a song for me to like let stuff go and be like, all right, I gotta let it go. I can't control, you know, any of the stuff in this song. Most
Right.
of it anyways.
Right.
It was just a real song, cause Tizo hit me up. He's like, yo, when I send you this, you gotta write the realest, like you gotta write uncomfortable. You got, and that's what I loved about the song, is cause it was challenging me to be uncomfortable. And so I wasn't talking shit. I wasn't, you know, trying to be a teacher or anything like that. I was literally just sitting down in my room, like how you hear the paper ripping and everything like that. Like that's why we did it, because it's like literally that's what that song embodies, is just sitting in there and just being frustrated. Are people gonna really like? Do people really like me? Will they fuck with me if I don't play this little like clicky game?
Right.
If I act how I want to act, you know, are y'all really gonna fuck with me?
Yeah.
Do you really like me, or is it because you think something's popping? Like,
Yeah, right.
That's what it all is. Like, are they gonna hate me? Will they love me if I don't play the game? Will they cast me? You know what I mean? Will they remember my name? Or are they gonna like, you know? That's what that was. It was the frustration of any artist that's like really doing it passionately. You know, you get frustrated because you're like, man, a lot of stuff feels fake, and you know, you don't know. It's hard to some people are really good at giving you that fake game. So like, it's hard. People wonder why I'm in my room all the time and just like keeping to like the couple people I work with. It's just like,
Same.
it's hard for me to work with some people because you just don't know what their intentions are. And I've had people finesse. I've had people steal music of mine. I've had people, you know what I mean? So it's just
Listen.
like, I come from a guarded place.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Listen.
It's wild. But Lulament, and then after that, you know, They Say, because I love They Say. It's so like, I love all the songs.
I do too.
It's so hard, like Boom 5 Times, hard song, and it's all Griselda, grimy. Always There is a classic song that I usually end shows with, because it's just like the poem, the point of the song, like the picture painted is literally, I took a relationship that I had in the past.
I knew it.
And I made
I
it.
fucking knew it.
It's like talking about, because it's like your love for music, yeah, and you can compare that to.
Bro, listen, I knew it. I fucking knew it. I swear, I knew it. I wrote it down. Oh, I swear. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. Because the entire time I was listening to this album, the whole time, all I could think was, he is, or maybe even was, I won't say that it's a current thing, in love with someone. And it was all I could think. And I thought to myself, I said, okay, so as I'm analyzing this album, and the song Always There is what like brought it full circle for me. Like literally, like brought it full circle. Shit, I was saying something. I'm too excited. Okay. Shit!
You're good.
Brought it full circle.
Always There brought it full circle.
I was in love with somebody.
You were in love. Oh yeah, okay. So when I was listening, I was like, okay, maybe this has something to do with where you are in the current place in your life. So, you know, maybe that's what's affecting it. And then, so, you know what I did?
Okay.
I went ahead and I literally listened to the songs and wrote about all the times that you were speaking about a woman that you clearly are or were in love with.
Okay.
And so listen, this is why this was so great for me, because as an artist, I tend to think that love is something that holds me back. Like for a very long time, I was like, and listen, all the time that I've been single, I needed to be single in order to get to where I am in certain aspects of my life.
Yeah.
But, you know, recently I'm just coming into this place where it's like, you know, it's okay to love. And like actually the things I've accomplished in the last few months have been with love in mind. even if people don't know that, you know? So I was listening to you, like, you know, pretty much just saying, like, it's a hindrance, it's, you know, not, you need to focus on your music, okay? And I get that.
Yeah.
And I get that. But I was like, listen, I used to feel the same way.
Yeah.
Until I felt like my entire body was, like, consumed with love in a way. And I was like, okay, so it wasn't going the way that I wanted it to go. So what I did was I started releasing my frustrations in this exact same way. Like, if you watch my YouTube channel, I don't know if you've ever checked it out, I talk about some of the very hard periods in my life, like moving to LA, leaving LA, living in LA. But the reason I did that was because, you know, I would like to move forward in the level of romance, and I felt like I needed to drop all that shit off, which is the way that you did here. So then when I got to the song Always There, so I literally wrote, he could be talking about music, but I think he's talking about a woman. And he has convinced himself that this love is either not good for him, and there could have easily been things that led to such a decision. You know, there could have easily been situations that happened, but like this little tiny piece of me, like, cause you said, you know, where the fuck is it? You basically were saying, like here in Ornery Kid, you say like, I wasn't ready for you. And like my soulmate's with another person. I could still go in there, but the dream is calling my name. I told you I literally studied this. So, so I was thinking like, something just tells me that he could still get in touch with this person, but this person may require some work. It may require, you know, some accountability. It may require some change. But why the fuck is he going to let someone that he obviously cares so much about just skedaddle like that? Like, and you don't have to get into the details of the situation.
It's
but I just definitely felt that. Like I felt that.
So this, like Always There was about a relationship in particular that was just, it was hard for, like at the time we had an age difference. She was older than me, and it was just like different vibes, you know what I mean? But we were cool. We were together for.
Are you living my life?
Possibly.
This is why I felt this. Okay, keep going.
No. So like, we definitely great relationship, and we were like, I still, you know, I'm so cool with it, and we still chatting up here from time to time. But it just wasn't. It just started getting very unhealthy, you know, and it was like the time being spent to try to build something up wasn't being spent like with that person. And, you know, after a while it starts to get taxing, and then they want things.
Absolutely.
You're like, I don't know what you want me to do. You know, it's a frustration. So like, there's the frustration and Always There. There's like the love that's still there. It's because like you love that person, but it's just like
doesn't mean we're meant to be together.
Yeah, so that's what Always There was. Now Over is literally about a different person. So these songs are old. They're 2 to 3 years old.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So the Always There song isn't even a Tizo beat. That's a beat that I got. It's probably older. Because I do that. I've been doing that at shows for like the last 2 years.
Right.
3 years maybe. That one was about a specific relationship. Over is something that happened after that relationship, and I got caught up in like the thought of love more than it was actual love. Like she sold me game, and I bid hard on it. And you know, like I'm not gonna get into the details of that one because that one's too revealing as far as details.
Listen,
but like
you don't got to.
She sold me she sold me game, and I bid on it, and that's what Over was about. Because it was like, man, I never felt anything like this. It was like my reintroduction into like black love and like another woman, and that's like relates to me on a different level, and like I was in it, you know what I mean?
Right.
And like dumb, like I shouldn't have, and I ended up hurting myself in it. You know, it was really my fault, and it's not her fault. It was my fault.
Oh, I've been equally as stupid.
That's what Over is. And then, you know, it also applies to, you know, just love in general. There's
right.
So like, it's easy for me to express my love for music and compare it to, you know, a love or so that I had with somebody, or I felt very passionately about, because it's like love in music. I mean, women in music are like the passion of, anyways, the passion that comes with both of those when you really love something. It's very easy to compare them and like tell a story to where you're not, you're painting a picture.
Right.
You can see the imagery of the arguments. Like, there's a line in there that I get so fucking worked up about. It's like yelling back and forth. I might hit her. I don't hit women. Because my cousin was like, yo, do you hit women?
I did not get that.
I don't do that. It was like more like frustration of being like, God, you know what I mean? Like, that's what
That's how I felt about it. Yeah.
But when he asked me that, I was like, oh, no. I don't.
Let me clarify.
I swear on everything like, that was, yeah.
No, I totally feel that. But I feel like, even if this person or these people are not for you.
Yeah, I made myself sound like a hoe, but.
Listen. We all got our shit going on.
I'm a lover. I'm a hopeless romantic guy.
I'm a hopeless romantic too. So like, I totally feels like I feel it hard. Okay, yeah. But like, I think even if you don't ever have any intentions on like being with these people or anything of that nature, I feel like just in the future, don't completely rule out the idea because of these.
Well, these people,
these shitty
these things ended,
situations.
Yeah, these things ended differently. These weren't like, it's me or the music, it's nerf or nothing, and I got out. So like, it was, that one was, there was a lot more built up on it, and it was just like music would pushed it over the edge.
Right, right.
The over one was just really, I got what felt like played. You know what I mean? So like, that's what that one was about. So like, I would never like, I know there's people out there that can live with the passion, that's finding the balance, and maybe like all those people before were really to prepare me for whomever I come across, whenever that time happens.
Whenever, it could be in 100 years. Yeah. We don't know.
But I know the amount of care it really takes to be with somebody. You know what I mean? If you're not ready to really give that and to grow and communicate, there's no reason to do it. Sex ain't shit. Sex ain't nothing but sex.
Nothing but sex.
Like, sit back and conversate and like spend days with each other, or sit in silence, or like put things to the side. Like, oh well, I'll do my interviews and stuff on this day. This day though, I won't do anything just for me.
Right.
Like that. If you can really communicate and keep everything open, if something pops up, you're letting that person know, and you're not just letting things fly by the seat of your pants.
And just pile up.
You know what I mean? It's communication.
And communication, it's such a big thing. I feel like for artists especially, well, for myself anyway, it's really hard for me to like communicate sometimes. Like, I feel like sometimes it's just easier for me to communicate through my art because I can literally give you a visual of like what you're doing and how I'm feeling.
And there's no interruptions in it.
Yeah, like, listen, I tell people that all the time. I'm like, listen, I share my story on YouTube because you cannot pause me 1,000 times and take me off course. Just fucking listen to what I got to say, okay?
My ex said that. She was like, yo, how come you can, because I wrote a song after an argument, and then she, like, I showed it to her because I was like, I want you to hear this stuff. And she was like, how come you can write that, but you can't like say it? And it's like, it's not the same.
It's not the same. And it's not the same.
It's hard. Like I said, it's a conversation. So now you're not only am I just not talking to the page, I'm talking to you. You might have heard something that got you a little bit. Now you're responding to me before it's time to respond. I'm responding about what you said. Now it's just when you're talking, nobody's listening.
Yeah.
And that's the frustration that comes with relationships and stuff like that.
It's a lot of frustration.
It is a work.
It's work. It's a freaking job.
Yeah, if you're not with that's why like I've been going through like the be by yourself and just try to work on me as self-love and self-care and make sure that mentally I'm where I need to be. I'm able to create and not take out frustrations towards anybody, or I know how I'm like I said, being mindful of how I'm reacting to how people may say something or take something that I said. Oh, I didn't mean for it to come across like that. I'm sorry you took it that way. This is how I meant it.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? That's not what I meant. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm matching energies. I can't match energies. I gotta be able to calmly get my point across. And sometimes it's
cannot match energies. Yeah. I love that you said that because literally people always say, I am matching energy from now on. Like, don't match their fucking energy. Like, don't.
They want you to.
Cancel. Do not match their energy. Walk away.
That's the ego talking.
Yeah, that is the ego. And a lot of people suffer from ego and pride, myself included.
We all do. I mean, it's that's That is what you have to be mindful of. That's like the free will thing.
Yeah.
Being mindful and making sure you're not making brash decisions off of.
Right? I know. And you know what's crazy is I try to make sure I'm not making rash decisions, and now I follow things like synchronized numbers.
I mean,
yes,
I use it as
this is a sign.
That's guidance, bro. Like, and I can't even begin to explain.
It is definitely guidance, and I can't explain it
People
either.
think I'm crazy, and I'm like,
listen.
maybe I am.
But no, I'm not.
And I swear to you, like, if you were just in my shoes and you felt it, or you like,
and you just,
it wasn't like I've been looking for this number all day.
Right.
It's not like I'm looking at the clock. I'm seeing it in everything. I'm seeing it in specific moments where I'm doubting something and it pops up.
And it just shows up, and you're like, okay, you're on the right path. You're on, and a lot of the reason I do that is because I feel like, you don't know what I just prayed about.
Yeah.
You don't know what I was just in there like.
People to denounce something that they don't understand.
Yeah, they don't get it.
Get it. You're like, and you can't really subscribe to that, and you're already like, that doesn't make sense.
You're fucking crazy.
It's like everybody believes what they believe in.
Right?
Same with astrology and like religious people. They're like, yo, it's astrology, it's witchcraft. And I'm like, but you just told me God made the stars. Talk to me through the stars.
Why can't he?
Then he got
Why
the
can't
wise
he?
men with a star. Like,
Listen, I feel that so freaking hard. I feel that so hard because literally, like, people are like, well, God tells us not to gamble. Well, he told me that 333 was a good number.
I don't play
and
them.
it just showed up, and
I won't play them.
I don't play them. I don't play the lottery.
Yeah, I can't.
I worked in a casino, so I know it's designed for you to lose.
I was saying, you worked at a gas station. I was like, I'm never buying these. I've seen people go crazy on them. I'm like,
It's legitimately an addiction. So I'm completely okay, like, when I'm feeling down to see my little synchronized numbers and be like, okay, that was great. I'm just gonna move on.
I'm gonna take that.
Keep my money in my pocket because my numbers are telling me that financial increase is coming.
I know that.
So
fall back.
Yes.
My time is coming.
My time is coming. I don't know when my time is, but it's coming.
But my numbers tell me I'm on the right
path. I'm on the right path and I'm taking the right steps.
I will take it. Yeah.
I will definitely take it. Okay, wow. This has been awesome.
Yeah.
Really, I really enjoyed this. I did. And I feel like I understand the album a lot more. I do. A lot more.
I hope that you do. I hope you do.
Like, it's just, I needed the answers for myself. And for no one else, I needed it for me. So
I'm glad that we were right. Yeah.
I know. I know somebody else told me, they were like, man, I feel bad for your exes. And I was like, well, I didn't say anything crazy. Like, I didn't say anything mean, you know what I mean? I don't think I did anyways. I have people tell me that too, because I use like old shit as inspiration for my new shit. And they're like,
People scared to talk to you.
Literally, they're like scared to talk to me because they think I'm gonna like come on YouTube and be like, this person is a shitty person. Yeah. Like, I don't do that. I haven't done that this far.
It's, I mean, everything's inspiration. I mean,
everything.
Like not even your own relationships, other people's relationships, or other people's thought process. Or I've had songs or poems that I made off of customers that wanted to bare their soul to me because it was just me and them in there, and for some reason they felt comfortable enough to just like and then
spill their whole life story.
Like, I listen. I feel like that's what I was put on earth to do, is like really listen to a lot of people. So like, not even to give advice. Sometimes I give my unwarranted 2 cents, and I feel bad because sometimes people don't want to hear that. And but I've learned that I'm really just supposed to be like a shoulder or ear for a lot of people. And that's cool because people need that.
Truth. That they do.
People need to listen before speaking. That's something that I learned and I'm still learning.
Yes. Listen to hear, not to respond.
Yeah.
That's something I always play in my head. Listen to hear, not to respond. And also another one I struggle with is not taking on other people's burdens. Like, it's not my problem to fix. So I got to take a step back. So that is not my problem. And it's hard sometimes because you don't want people to feel like, like I don't fuck with you or I don't care about you, but like, I can't
so
hold that.
hard.
I can't.
Juggle your stuff along with
Other people's
things.
shit
You
too.
just have to know where to draw that line for you and yourself,
Mhm.
and be secure in knowing like I don't love you any different. But you might take it as you know what I mean? But this
Right.
is like, if you really understood, you know what I mean? That's the thing. That comes back down to communication.
Yes.
You know, you should know not to text about certain things. You should bring that to a person in person. You should be able to feel that person out, listen to that person, and then try to understand where we're both coming from. But it's very hard to do with two people or more people that, you know, want to be right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
you know, I've been going through some things. You know what I'm
Me
saying?
too. Tell me about it. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so what can we expect from you in the future? Do you know? Day by day.
No, I mean I got some ideas. I might drop another project at, like towards the end of the year. We were talking about it, but it depends on how people do with Ornery Kid. Like I want Ornery Kid to live and have its own thing. So we're gonna do some more videos for Ornery Kid. I still have video ideas for Trusted Process that I wanted to put out. So really, right now, I'm just trying to get my game plan together. You know, different merch designs, all types of stuff. But basically, right now, we're just working on, you know, making sure Ornery Kid gets its time to shine. And like, I'm trying to get everybody to share, you know, comment on the posts, you know, put your people on. I say that all the time, but it's like, yo, we really need, because this is grassroots. I don't really pay for marketing and stuff like that, or pay like, you know, for people to make posts and stuff for me.
Right.
I'm really just like trying to build that movement of like, yo, it's us. In the grassroots, put your people, share it.
Yeah.
Because that's the best, that's the most organic way. I don't like paying, you know, subscriptions or anything like that for people to make posts or share my stuff or my impressions to go up. And then there's a balance of that. You know, you still have to do that because that comes with your marketing. But I don't like doing it because I feel like it's not organic, and I feel like, but I know that you have to also do that. So like, there's things I need to let go. But to answer your question, you know, music videos and possibly at least some singles are on the way. I've been writing again, so we'll see what happens. I like to keep everybody on their toes. I don't want to say too much anyways.
It's the way to go. It's the way to go.
I had to catch myself. I have some other stuff, but you know, you just gotta stay tuned.
Yes, just stay tuned, guys. He gets better and better.
I rant.
He does. So do I. My whole entire brand is built off of me ranting.
Yeah.
So people don't know.
It works. It works for me. It works for me on stage. Being able to just like say random stuff, and people are like, yo, you look like you have fun up here. I'm like, oh, I can crack jokes and all that stuff, and then I get off stage and I'm like, I'm cool, but then like you invite me to go somewhere and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be out there. Like,
I know. I get like
somebody just invited me to Bonfire last night, and like my anxiety was just like, no, we're not going, bro.
We're not going.
Earlier in the day, I was like, yeah, bro, that sounds like a good time, and then like it came time to go, and I'm like, I don't know anybody there, I just know you, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay.
I get like that too. I get like socially awkward.
If I have one person with me that like I can bring with me, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine out of that because I have that person that I know, like if anything got weird or awkward or like I couldn't talk to people or something, I could like look over and that person's like right there. I'm like, cool, you're that person. But I like after that, it's like people like, yo, come to the Berg. I'm like, all right, like, I have to come to the Berg. I have to make the trips and I have to make myself do that. I just hate.
Yeah.
I like having a person with me. Like it's just like to share the experience. Like doing stuff by yourself is not always fun.
No, I do everything alone, and
It's
it's not
essential to
always
do
fun.
alone things. Like do things alone. You know, you still should experience that, but it's a bummer. Chicago would have been a little bit more fun if I had a person.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is still a good
That's
time.
how I feel about a lot of things. I'm just getting bored with myself, to be quite frank.
I feel it.
I've been spending hella time alone. Just getting old now.
I feel it.
But I think it just comes over time.
Oh, everybody's
Like,
going through their like
You know?
their growth, everything. Everybody's growing. Everybody I've talked to
It's
is
growing.
going through a lot of stuff to just get them to where, you know,
They're supposed to be.
So, like, it's
Yeah.
pretty sick to see. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes you're a part of that growth, and sometimes it's not pretty. So like, you know, I've been trying not to take things personally, and
Same. Very hard.
It's just a lot of brain work on just staying conscious about what's happening, who you're talking to, who you're communicating with, how to communicate with people.
Yeah.
Which is the most important part. I feel like people think, oh, this is how I talk, this is how it is, and you need to accept it. And it's like, no, man. Sometimes you need to watch how you're approaching people.
Yeah.
And you need to
Yes.
It's hard, bro.
Yes.
People don't understand that because now it's like, okay, I need to control my reaction, but
you need to control how you're coming
we
to
need
me
to
as
just
well.
watch, bro. Talk to people how you want to be talked to. You know what I mean?
Period.
That's really the easiest way to put it.
Yes.
Talk to people how you want to be talked to, and all will be well.
Yeah, and I feel like whenever you fuck up, like you need to take accountability for your fuck ups and do what you need to do to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Definitely.
Definitely. It could all be so simple, but it's actually not that simple.
Just
taking accountability is hard.
It's man.
It is hard.
You get those back and forths with people and they're ready like, hold up, I know you mean.
See, sometimes I disagree with people just because I want to see where you stand on what you stand on. And I feel like what better way than for me to question what you stand on. I may very well agree with you. I'll never tell
but
you.
You're just like, let me see if you really believe.
But do you really believe what you believe?
Stand behind it, or you just regret
or did you see that on Facebook?
I like that.
So I do it all the time. And people do not like me because they think that I just
You're just playing devil's advocate. It's like trying to start shit.
But really, I'm just trying to see, where do you stand? Like, what are your facts to support your opinion?
How about that?
Yeah. Do you not have any? Then I think you need to do a little more research.
Blindly diving in.
Yeah.
All my stuff is based off of I don't really like speaking too much about things I don't know unless it's
exactly
experience. I speak from places of my own person.
I've been through this. Yeah. Same.
If I can't speak on it confidently, I might brush on it. What I would maybe feel, but I can't really give you everything. And I'll eventually say that in my rant of being like, but I don't know, bro.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I don't know. See, I like to do research on all points of view.
I'll Google stuff in the middle of our conversation.
Dead ass.
My sister, I did that with my sister the other day. She was like, oh, you're dope, because I was really just going to ignore it. I'm like, nope.
Nope. I need to know, is this the facts?
Yeah.
Okay. It's even not to talk about politics, because I hate that whole conversation. But people are like, I'm voting for Biden or I'm voting for Trump. I get it, but I'm going to do research on both parties. Even if my mind is already made up on who the fuck I'm voting for, I just want to know.
I think majority of people are just voting for popularity.
Yeah, popularity or this is my parents, whatever. And I just want to know what's going on with both of them.
Dismantle it.
What's going on?
I want to say that. Quiet.
Okay.
Anyways, Ornery Kid.
Ornery Kid, yes. So
make sure you listen to everything.
Make sure you listen. Yeah, where can they find it?
You can find it on any streaming service. I know that I've had issues with Tidal where they have my music mixed with a different Mulu's music, but you can find Ornery Kid. I've tested this thing, y'all.
Okay.
If you go to the search bar and you just type in Ornery Kid, you will find the album.
Okay.
There's not a lot of Ornery Kids.
This is on Tidal?
This is on streaming services, period.
Yeah,
If you can't remember my name, or you, for some reason, all you remember is Ornery Kid, click on do that, and you will find it. I tried it 8 different times on different things, not my computer, not my devices. So that's cool. Not a lot of Ornery Kid albums out, so we gotta get
There are not. You're an original.
Yes.
He's an original.
Not the Mulu part though. There's way more Mulus than I thought there were.
Actually, yeah, because when I was looking for Ornery Kid at first, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, there's some from Zimbabwe.
Whoa.
The main one is it's I think a pop band, a British pop band named Mulu or something. But they got a song called Pussycat or something like that. And every time I look my stuff up, Pussycat comes up. I don't have this song.
This is not my song.
I was
You must have to make a song called Pussycat to knock them out of the park.
I think that's what it needs to happen.
I think that's
now when you type in
happening.
Mulu music, more of my stuff pops up, so that's cool. So we're just trying
Growing.
to
You gotta celebrate the little things.
It used to be you would Google it and you would not see me for like
not at all.
pages. So. And if you do Mulu merch, hashtag Mulu merch.
Hashtag Mulu
If you
merch.
do that, it pops up all Mulu stuff. So
I will link all of the platforms and the social medias.
tell me what your favorite lines
Hello.
are. Tell me what your favorite lines are.
He wants feedback. Give the man feedback, damn it.
What about
He
that?
also has a YouTube channel. You have a music video that just came out to Drunk Song,
Yes.
which is on the Ornery Kid album.
Which is also one of my favorites.
Yes. And can I say I'm very glad at the end you put that it is not cool to drink and drive.
Yeah, that was Taylor wanted to come. He was like, we should put this on there. He was very concerned, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let's put it on.
It was a good move. It was a good move.
Do not.
It was. I was like, see? Because I was thinking it the whole time. Are they going to put a message out there?
Yeah, no, that was good.
Even though we know that, but you know.
Yo, you're gonna make sure.
Just to secure yourself as an artist and a person, you know, someone come out in 10 years, like, he made a video and he wants people to drink and drive. Like, no.
Being like, well, I drink. I was watching Drunk Song.
Right, I was listening to Drunk Song, you know. No.
Don't drink and drive.
No, just for the visuals, guys. Just for the visuals.
Thank you, Taylor.
Yes.
He said, let's put it on there. I'm like, you're right. We should do that.
Yeah, that was a major move. So it was necessary. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it. We got everything
We
here.
could have talked for hours.
We could have talked for like millions of more hours. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Because good conversation.
Good conversation.
Good conversation. It's so necessary.
Yes.
Okay, but that's it for me. Your girl Penny
I'm Mulu.
and Mulu.
Go have some good conversation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And bye.
I don't need no hook for this shit. Cause I'm really spitting writtens, giving weak spitters the dickens. They don't want it with them. I give everyone a listen. No hatred in my body, all participation trophies. I'm fighting for the Lombardi with the illest stiff on.